Well, hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Livranka, and today I'm gonna continue our adventure in code formatting. So, um, I did a little bit of work behind the scenes. So, okay, let's just go into my folder, and I'm going to just show you what the code is doing now. So that was Python automat, and that's auto lint.py. What are you talking about? Automat, not automan. Okay. So, alright. So you can see we have a little bit nicer formatting now. I fixed the extra new line thing. It was, I don't remember what it was, but a dumb mistake I made. It doesn't matter. And so we've done a lot of stripping um, spaces and things, right? So this is something that kind of hurts me inside, because if you look at the original code, you can see that I do a lot of aligning uh, with the equal signs, right? I think that looks really pretty, but in order to properly format that, it's a little bit of a nightmare. So, as in, I don't know an algorithm that could do it that does not require reading the file multiple times. So, I mean, actually, let me, since we're at it, right? Let me, um, draw a little bit of that, just to so you can visualize what that algorithm looks like. So let's go into our editor here, and I want to open automat autolint.py, and yes, this is not actually a linter. It does not no code analysis, but I thought, yeah, it'd be pretty if I called it autolint, right? It's a catchy name, right? Then auto format. I don't know. Just things. So okay, we're here in the file we were working on yesterday. I changed some of the colors, if you can notice. I think it looks prettier this way. So anyhow, wanna just here as just put it in comments. So the idea would be, imagine you have a bunch of lines, right? I don't know, int x, that's that, and then char y, that's one, and then you have another one, and it's I don't know, Huey, and suppose that's a type there for something, and it goes something like that, right? So you can see what the problem is, right? So which equal signs do you utilize as the point where you start aligning? So you have to first off do a reading of these three lines in order to determine which one is the longer one. Then you have to do comparisons, right? Like what is before the equal signs, what's after, right? Maybe it's too long and you have to break it down into multiple lines, right? And so it becomes a little bit of a nightmare, because you have to do way too many checks. So in order to get this, which for a human typing it's fairly easy to see, in order to do that programmatically, yeah, you have to do multiple passes, right? And so suppose on the first pass you just find suppose you break this, right? You split this at these spaces, right? Suppose you do something like that. You break it at these spaces on the first pass, so this would be let's say P0, and we get this, and that gives you like a list, suppose, right? And so you have for each line, right? This is for each line. You have like a sequence of tokens, and let's consider the equals here to be a separator, and so you wind up with something like this, suppose, something like that. And it doesn't matter because it's a comment, but let's add the comma, why not, right? Okay, so, and there you go. And so then what you have to do is sort of on a second pass, so pass 1, we have to take we have to sort of go through each token in each one of these lists until we get to the, how do you say, to the equal signs. So we have to pick like the longest one and say, all right, so this is the one we'll utilize for reference, okay? And so you say, all right, I have a char, and that's, suppose you're measuring each one of these, how long each one of these tokens are. So you say, okay, so char, and I got a space, so that's 5, and then that's 1 plus 1, right? Because we're counting the spaces too. And then the equal signs, and you would always have to do it like this unless they are all the same length. If they are all the same length, then you can just do this, right? Because your names will line up like this. But if your names don't line up because the length of the tokens up to this point is not the same, then right, so you're starting to see why the whole nightmare thing, yeah, it is nightmarish. It is nightmarish very much. So I'm gonna have to rethink a lot of stuff. So yeah, right. So let's just finish this. Just for demonstration. Okay. So, and here we have to see that int is shorter than char, right? We have to do this, like we have to compare first token to first token and see how long they are in order to know how much padding we need to add in between, right? And so, right, and so we would be counting here that we need 1 of padding for the first one, and here we need, we need our padding here is 1 1 1, and here our padding is 2 1 1. Okay, so yeah, you have to add different padding to different lines of when lines are of different lengths, and it's painful. Okay, it's a painful thing to code. I could do it, but I mean, it brings a lot of things into question, like when do you do this and when do you not? I mean, it's a whole ordeal. I mean, we could prototype it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we could do that. I mean, we only need, because actually we only need to format from the equal signs backwards, right? That's all we have to do. Well, what the hell? Let's code it. All right, that's a way to open up. That's a good way to open up. Okay, so I have a function to sort of despace a given expression, right? A given line of code, and it's very, very simple. And this is one of the reasons why I did it in Python. You have this useful strip here, and yeah, I forgot, like, for a second that you have, L strip and L strip, R strip, but I forgot that there was strip, which apparently does like is like combining both, so you don't have to string left strip and then right strip, and yeah, you can just strip, and I had forgotten that. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so what we're doing here is fairly simple. We're just splitting at a given character by iterating on LLB, which is a list of characters which we consider splitting, worthy of splitting. And what I'm thinking is, well, we could actually utilize a like, how do you say this? Like the combined form of these signs as their own item on the list. So actually, let's do something like this, because this is one symbol we'll encounter frequently, and yeah, I'll just leave it as that, and you see, this is something I always have problem with, you know, alignment of things. Okay, so we have this like that. Let's bump it up again, and I guess this one. Yeah, why not? What else? Yeah, let's do some operators here. So we have this one. We also have the in place OR, the in place bitwise OR, and the in place bitwise AND. Alright, so this is a formatting nightmare, but I have chosen this life. So let's just I guess I'll do it like this. Okay, wait, just make sure all of this is aligned. Yeah, okay, good. So we want no, wait, I'm gonna paste this one here, and and yeah, that's a wrap. Okay, so let's continue. Let's add more of these, because we also have plus plus. We might want to split there. Same for minus minus, and we have some more in place, right? In place operators. So let's utilize those symbols as a splitter, right? Okay, so, and this the division one. No one uses this, but you know, and this one even less, but you know, it exists. So let's just account for it, and let's do the logical and an OR, and oh right, I missed the fewer people use this one even, but it exists. That's an in place OR. All right, so let us right, like a physical lettuce, right, like the vegetable. Let us see what else we are missing. Yeah, I think nothing. I can't think of anything else. Well, why not add this one? I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm pretty sure the compiler will accept it, right? Like, you can have a pointer and do this and this and right, and grab a field. But I've never seen anyone do that besides me when I was desperate for space. So yeah, double bang, perhaps. I think, but I'm not sure if like I think there is an operator that I think this one exists, but I'm not entirely sure if it's in this form or with the factorial, right? Like it's a single character, a special single character, which is two exclamation marks. I know that's an operator. I don't know how to type it, so, and I don't even know what it does. I've never used it, so well, I'm gonna play it safe and leave it out because I know it's not present in my code, and this thing will format my code. So yeah, let's play it safe. Let's play it safe. Okay, so I'm gonna close it off here, maybe here. No, something like that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we have that list. So, oh, right. Now I remember. Okay, so we need to split at tilde as well. And here's a thing. We also need to account for this monstrosity, which is not actually a single operator, right? So this is two operators together. But I very frequently utilize this because this is how you unset a given mask. This is how you mask out certain bits. It's a construct, right? It's like an operator combination that's very common in my code. So I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna leave that there. And there's another one I can think of, and I'm gonna put it after this. And that would be, yeah, that. The bang and the the bang and the parentheses. Okay. So let's cheat a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, just so I don't have to align everything to 3 spaces, because it's the kind of thing that drives me crazy. I cannot help it. Okay. So yeah, all right. Let's see how our code looks now. It's actually all right. Wait, let me try that again. Okay, right. So let's look at our code here, and actually I have it open in the editor. So, what happened here? It's commented out everything. How come? Oh, that's not right. Okay, so actually let me fix that real quick. So, right, so I cannot put a space after this symbol. Huh. Well, yeah, it's not the worst compromise ever. Let's just do it, and let's compile. Let's run that again, and yeah, now it does what it's supposed to do. Good. Okay, so let's take a look at some of our functions and see how well formatted they came out, and that's all right. But as you can see, we don't have this manic thing that I do where everything is on like incredibly aligned. It's more conservative. And aha, look at this. Yeah, that's not right. That's definitely not right. So yeah, we're gonna have to add that special case. I thought I wouldn't have to, but well, okay. So I need to put that special case before the actual minus, because the way this is going to work is it's going to look at the composite tokens. Let's say they are tokens. It's going to look at these composite tokens first, and determine whether it has to split at that point. And actually, now that I think about it, it's going to split at the right. So it is going to split at the non-composite operators, tokens, whatever, because it looks at all of them. So I need to lay this out in a way that, for instance, splitting, if it has split the string at this particular token and then stripped the thing, then it won't try and split at this one. And then where's the semicolon? No semicolon? Oh yeah, here it is. Right. So it won't try to split at this after it has split at this one. So, that's actually fairly more complex than I thought it was going to be. But that's the point of this. We're learning, man. I mean, you need to struggle. You need to struggle in order to learn anything, and I want to learn. So, okay. Let's do that, and yeah. Okay. And there we go. Okay. So should I complete this here? I mean, it doesn't look much better, so I'll leave it at that. All right. So I think what I'm going to do first and foremost is I'm going to find something else to play in the background. Let's try. I have something over here. give me a second. I'll get back to you. Okay. All right. So I have the following problem. For some reason, Windows thinks that an MP3 file has to be opened with BLC editor. So with BLC media player, I meant to say. So I'm gonna try and change this in a way that won't crash my computer. Okay, give me a second. Right, that's not a crash. That's not a crash. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so let me get that slightly up. All right, good. Okay, nice. So let's focus on this thing, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to roll myself a cigarette and think while I'm rolling. Okay, so there are a couple ways that I think we can achieve what you've been talking about, of popping from this list whenever we choose one of these. And I think the easiest way to code it out, so I mean, I could probably get that same functionality in a more complex way that's better performing, that's more performant, but we're coding in Python. So I mean, Python performant code, no, that doesn't really exist. So we're already okay with subpar performance. So yeah, we can just do things the raw, naive way, and Then if we hit a real bottleneck, then we can probably try and code that out in C and just compile it into a DLL and just do some wrappings around those libraries in Python, right? I think with just C types we would be okay. But I could also try Python or something like that. I have Python installed, I think, on this machine. Let's check actually. So do I have Python? Let's see. Python, and let's see version. Okay, sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it's installed. It's installed. So if we need to Pythonize this thing, we can do it. I don't I don't feel any particular way towards Python. I mean, it works. It does work, but you know, uh, I don't feel any particular way towards it. It's not something I've used extensively. But anyhow, so what I was saying is the naive implementation of what I'm thinking is every time we have one of these composite tokens present in our string, we want to pop the the characters, the individual characters from a copy of this list, right? So that is going to take a while, all right? Just flat out, that is going to take a while. That's not going to be quite as fast, but it is Python. So like I was saying, if it's too much of a problem, we'll see about it later. Okay, so I was missing one operator here, and I've been chattering so much I've actually forgotten about it. But now I just remembered it's the arrow. Okay. Oh, all right, that's good. That's good enough. So now let us. Oh, right, and actually, the this one and this one. All right. Good. So this will have one big problem in that if I take this away, then I cannot cut at a minus, right? So we'll have to do like exceptions, but this evaluation is going to be done at the line level, so it's line per line, and quite unlikely that we would have, for instance, multiple of these in-place operators on the same line. I don't. I think there are some ways to do that are valid. Like a compiler will not complain, but it's not something I do in my code personally. So it's not going to happen right now. Okay, so what we need to look at is plus. So if we have a plus, if we have a plus plus, then we want to take out the plus. No, I don't think so. And if we have one of these, we can have one of these, right? So that's a little bit problematic. So the way I'm going to do this is, actually, I thought this was going to be much more simpler, but it is not. It is not quite as simple as I thought. What a surprise. So let's just do an LLB copy, and that's just LLB. and can I do copy? What the hell, let's just try it. Alright, so wait, I'm gonna disable some of these things, yeah. Right, so this massive line here is a GNU indent thing. I guy was using it to try and strip, but it's pretty much, oops, it's pretty much not good. Oh, okay, so let me show that again. This entire thing here, I just commented it out. So this is a call to GNU indent, and this is a print. Shaka. So okay, so no errors, good. And yes, reload. All right. Okay. So as you can see, even without the GNU indent, it still sort of works. But we have this kind of problem. So we have to. I would guess the one thing to do would be to forbid spacing between these individual chars. That's a little bit of a problem. Right, so you see here, so this is a problem because I could not have plus plus and plus on the same line. Well, there's another way. This is a simpler way to do it, and I don't even have to do a copy of the list. I just thought about it. So okay, what I have to do actually is I need to look not just at the current how do you say, at the what I have to do is get the positions of these special characters I'm splitting at, and check that the following character is not in the list. So no. Estoy grabando. Sorry. Okay. So someone came and knocked at my door, and I had to answer that. So okay, yeah. So the idea is we have my mother of God. Someone interrupts me, and it just breaks my entire. I lost my train of thought. Okay. All right. So we need to do a manual split, because suppose we have an expression, right? And I don't want to use int, but let's just use int, and we have something like this, suppose. And actually, let's do it like this. So right. So this is a line we would realistically encounter. We have two problems. Actually, let's make it 3. Let's suppose it's something like this. So we have a bunch of problems here. So 1, suppose we have this, and we want to detect this gap, just close that. We have a problem, because it might detect this thing here and separate it like that when we're trying to do this. Or we might have this, and because it sees this symbol over here, close it up on this way, but not on this way. So it's token overlap. I don't know if there's a better term for it. This is one I just made up. This token overlap. So whenever we're checking for a particular token, we need to know that at the position we're attempting to split that string, we don't also have one of the composites. So I'm going to I'm actually going to have to write a custom string, so a custom split. So let's just cm split, and let's pass it yeah, it's a local, so I can do it. So the way I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use C, which is going to be nothing, and wide, which is going to be nothing, also nothing, but we'll use it, you'll see, okay. So I'm going to need the length of the string, yeah, okay, let's just put it all like that. And what? Okay, so for C in S, and oh yeah, I'm gonna need an index, right? So at the bottom of our loop we have an increase of our index, and what we're going to do is if and only if y is less than L minus 2, right? In that case, then W would be C plus S I plus 1, right? And so that will give us the current character plus the character after it. So now we can check whenever we're going to split at this particular position, do we have so should we split at the single char or should we split at the composite? That's the idea. And we're going to give the composite higher priority. All right? Okay, so okay. So let's try this. I suppose I need to record the positions. I'm not entirely sure. Let's have a little drink here. Oh, I've been recording for almost 40 minutes. What? Time flies. So anyhow, oh yeah, I want to add an additional clause here. If we're at the end of the string, and this is the edge case, if we are at the end of the string, then we do not care about W. It doesn't exist. It is none. Okay. So we're done with that. So now let's do the checkings. And I guess what we want to do is when we encounter a particular character, then we want to determine if this right, so what we have to do is if W in LLB, then yeah, right, so we're going to return a copy. We're going to build the characters eligible for splitting, right? So we're not going to do a custom split. We're actually just going to build the split table, so to speak, right? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So let's actually say LLB pick then. Or maybe, yeah, let's say pick. pick LLB. Yeah. All right. So pick LLB, and we have our LLB copy. Should be nothing. And on if W on LLB, then we want to LLB copy append W, right? Else, actually else if C in LLB, then LLB copy append C. Good enough. That should be about that. So let's do it at that. Let's just return LLB copy, and let's I think if I put the function call here, it will be evaluated once for every run, and that's not good at all. So let's just LLB copy equals LLB pick, and does it have no pick LLB? Actually, I didn't remember the name of the function I just wrote, so that's embarrassing. Okay, so let's create a split token list for this particular string, and let's iterate through that list. All right, that's good enough. But then we have this problem. So for certain tokens, I want to allow splitting. Okay, splitting, separating with spaces. So I guess for some I want I want a space on the right, and for others on the left. Well, for now let's just have it like this. No separator. Okay. Let's just do one for the, and actually wait, separator. Right, so separator on the right and the separator on the left. So we can calculate these later. We can determine how we're going to get these later based on the token, right? So based on the token we're splitting and maybe some other context, we can determine if we want to modify these separators. But we're not gonna do that now, okay? So let's bring up the console and try this once again, right? And now let's go into the file, and voila, we don't have this problem anymore. And let me check one more thing. Do I still have no, I'm not using a no indent at all. Well, that's that's actually pretty fucking good. So for this formatting being 100% my code, it's not that bad, right? We have our comments are lined, are perfectly lined. That's amazing, right? We need to work on the cases here, right? So we need to do that, and that's a little bit of a problem. I don't think I'm going to tackle this right now, but as you can see, this is kind of weird because you have to up one level, right, like this, until you get to the next case when you need to go down a level and then up one level again. So it's a little bit it's weird. It's a little bit weird. It's not like a normal delimited thing. So it's like so case is both delimiters. That's the problem. It's a little bit weird to think about it, but it can be done. But anyhow, let's look. Let's just, like, I'm just looking at this like at a glance, right? And right, this is a little bit stupid. I think if I were to split at the spaces, I could fix that. And then, you know, do the alignments myself, which I will probably do it, but it might not be in this video, like, I don't think, but a good thing to do. So here we have a little problem because of this thing. When it sees that it does this this thing, it takes everything down one level, so it's a corner case. Oh, and here we have another problem, right? So okay, my formatting, my auto formatting is not quite as good. Okay, it's not quite as good, but it's you know, it's serviceable. It's serviceable enough that, I mean, I think that someone who isn't quite as obsessed with aligning code would probably be just fine with this, right? Like, you know, like you can see this, you understand the assignments. It's not hard to read. It is a little bit hard for me to read, right? But you know, I have my problems and that and those things. So yeah. Anyhow, yeah, it's not bad. It's not that bad. But we can make it better. Okay. So, yeah, all right. Oh, I forgot about the shifts. Yeah, so the shifts are also important. Let's add those to our list. Yeah, so that's bit shift. That's very important. Very important to do do bit shifts. Okay. So now probably let's look at the separators and maybe get a basis down. So I think that on the right, for now I'll simply consider if ch not n else stuck, right? And oh yeah, and I want to split when I encounter a space, so a blank basically. So the difference between, at least in my head, between LLB and L break is that this one would be used to break lines, right? So breaking lines into multiple lines. So, but I'll get to that later, on a later date, rather. So yeah, let's try that and see if now we get separation after, yeah, and it's actually the other way around. Well, that's fun. That's fun. So I wanted a space after the semicolon, but I did it backwards. All right, that's that's silly. That's very much silly, but I get it. Yeah. So I actually have to invert, if I'm not mistaken. Right. And as you can see, because we are not splitting long lines, this wrapping happens. But you know, finding the adequate place uh, to just to put that new line there is a little bit frustrating. So I'm not going to do that right now. But right, and now we don't have. Wait, I'm going to go back to the beginning and maybe find. Right. So yeah, these ones used to be like that, and now they're like this. Okay, good. And actually, now that I think about it, with this font that I'm using, uh, having no space after the semicolon, it doesn't matter. Because you can see the separation. When you put in a space, that's too much space. So actually, let's get rid of this. Let's just get rid of that. Okay. And was it? Okay, yeah. So now you can see it did not separate them. Yeah, that's actually not that bad. That's actually not that bad. I'm sorry. So I would have to look. So rather for the separators, what I would do is I would look at this kind of pattern where you have this. I would just look for that, or or maybe this. No, no, not like that. Like this, and put a space there. So yeah, let's just do that. So forget about this. And so I would need a separate list. But because it's just going to happen on this one, I guess I can just do it like this. Because it's also a small-ish list. So yeah. So if we have this, we want to split at this end and just unite them. Okay, so let us say that for ch in, and let's just give it the list raw, and yeah, I'm just going to copy and paste, of course. So split at the symbol provided, and this is going to be a little bit strange to think about, but and actually these variables do not exist anymore, so let's get rid of them. All right. Like, and the way the only thing that would be different is that when I go to join them, I want to change ch to ch0 plus the space plus ch1, and that's basically putting a space there. Yeah, that should work. Let's try it. Alright, no errors. So good. And let's... Okay, right. And now we have that. Good. But there is a problem. I think I would like to have like a space there. It's not the worst compromise. It's certainly not the worst compromise. Like it's sort of like what happens here, but no. It's not at all like what happened there. No. Now I would like a space after this, after the curly brace. How long have I been recording? So that's an hour. Okay. Wait. One thing I want to check actually is when there is this pattern, right? So after this pattern, I would like a space after. Okay. Okay. Let's switch the previous file, and I could keep on concatenating these, but I'm just going to do it the lazy way. I'm going to increase these at the end of our loop, and what I'm going to do wait, ch equals ch plus space. Actually, if I do it the other way around, it's easier. Ch not this thingy. If ch minus 1 is not a curly, an opening curly, else ch plus a space, and if that space is not needed, it will just be stripped at the end when the line is processed, so it it essentially doesn't matter, right? So I want to have this pattern here, and when I have that, I like for this is when you cast, right? So cha, tang, and b, right? So this would come. It's one way to. Well, if you don't know what typecasting is, go go look it up. I don't want to explain it and make a fool out of myself. So what we're going to do is say, and probably it's better to have a secondary loop that than introducing an evaluation. But you know what? If I less than 2, else it would be I guess ch plus space. Okay. Yeah, I think that will do. I think that will do. All right. And actually, let's put this thingy. So in case you didn't catch on, now the order of the operators doesn't matter. But you know, I'm not going to I'm not going to rearrange the table, because now the how the symbols are arranged doesn't matter. So it's basically I'll leave it like it is because it's pretty. Okay, right. Let's just try this and see what happens. Okay, let's. Okay, so yeah, now we have separation on a cast, and let's try this. Okay, no, not quite. There was okay, so we failed right here. We failed. Okay. Well, I mean, wait. I don't need to strip it the second time around. Maybe that will up it. Let's take a look. Right, now it works. Alright, so that's fun. Let's just check that last change didn't break the... Oh, look at that. Wait, let me just let me right strip this. It's yeah, right strip. Okay, and now we have no spaces after the brace, after the curly. Okay, all right. That works. That works. And this thing, yeah, I don't like it, but it's okay. I'll leave it there for now. Like like this kind of thing here. This kind of thing here. Like, I'm sorry, I forgot. I forgot I wasn't showing the editor, but pretend you saw everything. Okay, so this kind of multiple braces, multiple curlies on the same line, that's non-standard. I'm pretty sure that's non-standard, and most people who code will probably disagree with me putting that here, and I would probably agree with them. It doesn't look much good, and this thing here even less. So yeah, we probably want to take care of that. And we probably want to look into breaking lines. And we still have this problem here. Yeah, it did not split at the spaces apparently. So let me look at some more declarations to see if we have that problem anywhere else. No, not here. America is spelling is you. Yeah, we have that problem everywhere, so that's not so great. I think I know how to solve that, but I also think it will not work. So now that I said it, now that I said it, let's actually try. And let's see here. All right, so apparently that broke a lot of things, and now it didn't fix anything. So yeah. Yeah, I knew it was a bad idea, but I wanted to try. So oh, actually, I know. When we're joining, right, just null the, not just null the join. Actually, that's not going to work, like at all. That's definitely not going to work. But I'm just going to do it for kicks. So that would collapse the entire expression, if I'm not mistaken. Ah, right. That would just join it. So what we need to do, we need to keep that joining character as it is. What we need to do is skip this step if the substring within the splitted string is empty, because that's what happens when you have a bunch of spaces and you split. It gives you a bunch of empty things, and it joins them with a space, right? That's sort of what happens. And so we want to evade that. No. Oh yeah. So that's length of sub, right? So my plan was, sub for sub in L2, and L2 is where we have our lines split. So this gives you the contents of the string, right? So suppose you add string plus string, say, and you were splitting at this, and it will give you this, right? So that's what it is. So we have our list here, and I want to say, okay, so give me every substring within that list if that substring is not none. So if it's not like this, right? So a null string. But for some reason I said give me the substring if the list has length, and that doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's sloppy. That's sloppy of me. Okay. And let's check it. And yeah, now it's fixed. Okay. So cool. Oops. So cool. Yeah. Okay. We apparently have, oh my god, not this again. The invisible new lines. I call the invisible lines. That's what I call them. The invisible lines. Oh my god. Every time, every single time I introduce this bug once again, and I don't even notice. I don't even notice I'm introducing that bug. So length of line equals 1, and then if line equals new line, I think this is how you fix this. Now just return nothing, and let's see what happens. Nope. Nope. Okay, so I need to handle this case somewhere else. And I don't get it. I fixed it and now it's back again. You know, maybe I never fixed it and I just didn't notice it. Maybe maybe what really happened is I didn't really fix it. I just made it not quite as bad as it used to be, and I thought it was fixed. So okay, let's look at this more in depth, and we should be able to see that. So here we have a double. Yeah, but this is when there is a full line comment, so I'm going to ignore that. This space. Yeah. Strip. Not length of line. Right. So this is my point. This is exactly my point. Alright, so let's see if we have those pesky invisible lines, and yeah, apparently now we don't. So if you ever wonder why I have why I have the visualize spaces turned down, this is the kind of thing that bothers me. When there is nothing on a line except the indentation, that gets on my nerves. that that shit really gets on my nerves, let me tell you that. So okay, we have some right here at the separators we have too much white space, I believe, at least in my opinion. That's too much. So actually let's remove this. Let's just remove that and see what happens. Alright, so that should kind of fix it. We still have this, lots of space here. I don't really want to allow for that. So let's try this. For line in line. So I'm gonna have a reminder, okay? Actually, let me just look for this. Right. So this check, I'm just going to use it for something else. I should take it out of there. And so this would say no new line. It used to be new line, like when you were trying to chain them. And I don't remember why I needed that, but I know I don't need it anymore. So let's just repurpose it. And let me just check that I'm not using it somewhere else. No, okay, so I'm good to go. If not new line, if not new line, else put nothing. And what I'm going to do, and L equals 0, and if we are trapped here, then n and l equals 1, right? So what this does, it's basically here it says, okay, so if we don't have anything on this line, just put a new line there and forget about it. I don't want to have multiple of these chaining up. So I'm gonna say sum a new line, but only if NL, and NL will only be if NL is not true, and NL will only be not true if you have not been here before, because then you'll hit the continue and you'll go right back here, and you will never deactivate it until you come upon a line that is not empty. So yeah, that's the logic behind that. Alright. And we still have this fucking... I hate this. Oh god, why did you make me a programmer? You ruined my life. Okay, let's just try this one again. It's probably because it is not a the length. Its length of line is, so I don't know. I'm gonna do the both checks, because if I try to do it in one check, it's not going to work. So okay, let's just do and no, wait, or. So no, that doesn't go. Length of line or length of line, and I'm actually going to put this like that. Line or length of line is less or equal to 1. 1 and line. Oh, but if the line has no length, if the line has nothing and I try to index into it, it's going to give me an error. So okay, let's just fuck it. It's going to be like that again. I'm just going to live dangerously. Okay. Fuck me. How? Explain to me how. Oh my. Okay. Don't worry, I can do it. So this is some sick shit, let me tell you that. So apparently the same control that that looks for the new lines is responsible for increasing the indentation level by 5 or something. Nah. I did not code that in. What in the name of fuck? Okay. I'm already getting cranky, so that's not a good sign. Okay. It's just I was just about to do it like that, but now. Or line equals indent, or line equals just a new line. So all three cases equally fucked up. I want none of them. Okay. So just make the line null. Let's see if that works. Ah, fuck me. Alright, so I'm less chatty because now I'm pissed. Okay, that's the only reason. I am pissed. And what? It's eating up lines. Nah. Just quit it with this shit. What in the name of fuck happened? Let me look at the spacing. Okay. So fucking piece of shit. Ah! Fuck me. It doesn't work. How come I introduce these bugs and do not notice? Like, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense in my view, in my humble view. And it was after I made that change, right? Yeah, now it doesn't fucking happen. Just what? What? Honestly. Okay. So I don't get it. I really don't get it. Why in the name of fuck would you get rid of the Kelly? Like, why? Okay, let's just run that again. Yeah, and it eats up. It eats up the sub. Oh, fuck me. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to add. Let's do it like this. Alright. Okay. Fucking piece of shit. Now it should be working. we still have those additional lines. No. Right, so here's what happened. I had those invisible lines because this fucking piece of shit was swallowing up the operators for some reason. Like, I guess that it takes it like this and split this and splits this, and I guess it's like it has like two nulls on each side, and it says okay, so it says take these into consideration if they are not null, and you need those two nulls in order for the operator to appear at all, because that's basically what this join does for you. Basically it gives you this. Oops. It gives you just the operator without anything on this side. So yeah, that swallows up the operators. So not my smartest move ever, but what can I say? Alright, so just checking that there are no declaration of int with two spaces. Oh, that's not good. You see this? That means something is broken. Okay, let's look for it. Oh, and it could be anywhere. It could be anywhere. Oh my god. This is some of the most frustrating pieces of code that I've had to write. And I've only been writing it for 2 days. Oh god. Why do I do things? Okay. It is not all lost. We have something that sort of works, but does this weird funky thing where sometimes it will swallow up an operator for some dumb logical mistake that I've made. It is probably somewhere around here. Just going to do that, yeah. Let's see if that helps us. No, still broken. Mother of God, I cannot believe. I cannot believe how utterly stupid all of this is. My god. Okay. So, if you can't see it, okay, I'm just going to show you. There is a missing curly. So at one point in a, let's see, 100 and no 100 1500 lines of code. In the 1500 lines of code that this file has, it swallowed up one curly brace, at least one, and now because it can't find a pair, it just collapses everything. So yeah, this thing is broken and we need to fix it. And alright, so I'm going to try and do that because this was not happening just a minute ago, I think. I would bet. No, 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 no. I'm just no. Never mind. Never mind. I would bet it happens here. So let's do it like this. Let's say I'm just going to print it out. So this is caveman debugging. So if this character in old and not in line, let's do it like this. So this would tell us if if a closing curly was swallowed and on which line, and then we can look at that to see what happened. Okay, no print. You're shitting me. Okay, so it doesn't happen at this stage, which means that it's happening down here. Ah, I am a fool. Not length of line and the line not in LLB. Continue. Okay, let's try that. All right, and now it's fixed. Okay, so that's a good note on which to stop recording before I make any other silly mistakes. But let's just look at what our formatting tool is doing just one last time to try and get a taste for what we need to do next session. Alright, so yeah, there's actually not that many things that need to be done. It's just that the things that are left, you know, aligning and all of that, it's a little bit weird to think about, and yeah, it's not so fun. It's not really that fun, but I'm gonna have to try and do it. Okay, so this is fine. Wonder if maybe I should get rid of that space after the curly. Maybe. And we do want a space after that. When there is something after the closing curly. So yeah, we need to work on that. And then I'll guess we do alignments, because there's not much of a choice. Let me just check something. Yeah, so solve and solve. Right, so the colon is not quite as left aligned, so that's interesting. Right. So this is a font that I made myself by by drawing the individual pixels. It's all 8 by 8, right? So 8 by 8 pixels is a really small font. so it has this oversights, I would say. Like I would call them design choices, but some of them are oversights. Okay, that's just being fair. So okay, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad, but we could do a whole lot better. But okay, that's all from me. For now, I'm gonna keep working on these behind the scenes, uh, just to do it. But yeah, right. So that's good enough for an update. You've seen sort of where we're at with formatting our code. Okay. So yeah, I guess we'll work on breaking lines and some alignments and adding spaces whenever they are needed and things like that. So yeah, I'll see about that next up. And yeah, I hope you like this. Thanks for watching and all of that. If anyone's watching, if you made it this far, congratulations, my friend. You have really big patience just keeping up with me all this time. I know I'm unbearable to watch, but anyhow, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.